Hi everybody, welcome back to our television, where it is my hope to inspire you to envision more for your life. If you are new here, hi, welcome. Please remember to subscribe and to click that gray bell to be notified the moment I upload another video. We talk about all things ADHD, mental well-being, and personal development. If you are a returning subscriber, hi, welcome back. I love when you all are here. And thank you to all of the people that have joined me over on Patreon. If you are interested, you could check out the details in the description. But let's get crack-a-lackin'. Obviously, it's been a moment since I uploaded a video, so I thought I'd talk about what I've been going through, and that is the topic of starting a new job with ADHD. Exciting facts.
Exciting facts.
This is me just talking. I don't have like notes. This is unscripted and just me sharing my thoughts. So first of all, I made a video in the past about having ADHD and like what's the best career for somebody with ADHD. And I also know that a lot of us can relate to the fact that some of us have had 50 bajillion jobs, because that's a number, in our lives with ADHD. And it's hard to find something that you want to stick with that inspires you, keeps you motivated, and keeps you focused on the job. So for me, I know that in that list in the other video, you can check it out. It's an oldie but a goodie. You know, jobs that are good for people with ADHD would be like therapist or hairstylist, beautician, server at a restaurant. That's what I've been a lot of my life.
There you go, ma'am.
Things that keep you going, things that are engaging and exciting. Obviously, it's not a one-size-fits-all, and not everything fits for everybody. I worked as a makeup artist for Clinique, and I was really bored and didn't like the style of it because I wanted to do everybody's makeup the way I wanted to do it, and you had to like please the customer. Although I still love doing makeup, but anybody could be anything. I don't think that you're stuck in a box, and if you have ADHD, you can't be this, you can't be that. And somebody with ADHD might fit well in like an administrative position because you might be super organized. Some of us aren't, some of us are. So for me, starting the new job, one, the application process can be grueling and daunting. Applying for anything can be overwhelming, especially if you need a job and you need to sit and apply over and over and over, fill out applications, make sure that your resume is on point. If you're just looking for something and you have time to look, like I did, I took my time and waited till I found something that would fit me well and suit me in the sense of like knowing that I would stay engaged and be loving it for a long time. I've worked in an administrative position in the past when I took a break from serving because of my foot injury, for those that know, and I loved it. I worked in an office. I was an assistant to the office manager, and I got to do all sorts of different things. It was the perfect office job. It wasn't just sitting at a desk. It was sitting at a desk, meeting customers as they came in, you know, taking their insurance and getting all their file ready, which I loved that. And it was just enough to where that was exciting for me. But then I got to get up and take the customers throughout the wellness center that I worked at, show them the ropes, help anybody with what they need, follow up on phone calls, answer the phones, connect with my coworkers. And it was a really, really fun, engaging job, and there was a lot to do, and it was the same, but it was like every day was different, and it was not the same routine throughout the day, if that makes sense. Like I came in and had my morning routines, but it changed throughout. So I really, really liked that job, but it closed down. So I ended up going back to serving, which I thrive at. I love. It's engaging enough to where it's like it's different every day. You got to stay focused. You can have the ability to multitask, and you know, if you forget something, you could just whip right back around the restaurant, grab whatever you forgot and bring it to the customer, and you get to engage with people, and it's different people all the time unless you have regulars. But for me, with the new job that I started a little bit ago, it was an inside sales position at a real estate agency, and I know that that could be something good for people that have ADHD because it's different, it's entrepreneurial, it's exciting, but there's definitely like the day-to-day grind that you have to put into it. I am not an agent. For me personally, I don't know if I would do well with being an agent because I don't have good like self-management skills in the sense of like being my own free agent, if that makes sense, unless I'm interested. And I see where somebody with ADHD could thrive in that environment, especially if they love the culture and if they love houses and helping people out and connecting and meeting people and coming up with new creative ways of marketing themselves and events and things like that. But for me, I started a job and I was an inside sales associate, and I would be on the phones all day, and I'd done a phone job before. It was not a good office environment, so I didn't enjoy it. So I didn't realize that I wouldn't enjoy it now, because this job requires a certain level of phone touches and phone calls every day that you got to make. And it was a little difficult at first navigating the social interactions with the agency because you're around professionals and people that, you know, they want to make money. You got to be on point. and I was responsible for getting clients to agents that were ready to buy. The pressure was really, really overwhelming for me. The interview process went really well. I'm really good at interviewing. I am really good at, I guess, selling myself. That sounds really bad. Based on what the job was, I was really excited for it and thought it was going to be a good fit. I think with any career, any position, I know that us with ADHD, we have a fear of like quitting things too soon or having a litany of quits behind us. But at the same time, you got to come with the realization that not everything's going to be the right fit for you. So don't be afraid if you start a new job, if it ends up not being what you wanted it to be or expected it to be, because things can evolve, things can change, and it could change and get better in a good way if you stick it out. For me, I think for anybody that's looking to start a new job, I say give yourself a limited amount of time to commit at the job. If it doesn't end up being what you thought it was right away, maybe it's just a learning curve, maybe it's, what am I trying to say? Maybe it's not something that's going to be that way forever. And once you get the hang of it and you find your groove, it will be a good thing. But again, if it's not a good thing, if it's a toxic environment, if it's stressing you out to the point where it takes away your serenity and inner peace, I give you and myself and anybody permission to say this is not a good fit. And I think that it's the responsible thing to do, the respectful thing to do for whatever company you're working for, to just let them know, like, thank you for the opportunity, but this isn't going to work. For me, with my new job, the phone calls was overwhelming for me. It was 24/7, which I didn't realize. So I always had to have my phone on me. If a phone call came in, even if it was like unknown or if it was a scam, I had to answer it because a lot of times it was inbound phone calls for people that were interested in purchasing a home or connecting with an agent. And I obviously want to do a good job, and I loved when I did connect with people, and I realized that's where I thrive best, is connecting with people. But what the job required was more consistent calling and more colder leads than I thought. And I was fine. I'm really good with people and I navigated it, but I realized in terms of looking at the long haul and the bigger picture down the road, I felt like I would not be a good fit for the office, much less the job for me. And I loved everybody at the office. Everybody there had been really, really sweet. You know, of course you're shy at first and you're a little intimidated, or not even intimidated, but just it's unknown and it's uncertain and it's kind of nerve-wracking. But I gave myself, you know, a goal of sticking with it for a certain amount of time because I didn't want to just give up too soon, because I know that with ADHD you can have a tendency to just be like, I don't like today, so I don't like this ever, so I'm leaving. And I remember thinking like, I don't know, because I was struggling, and my older sister's done real estate before and she said it was the best thing she's ever done. It was really challenging, really hard, but it taught her a lot about herself, which is something I admire in what careers can do for you or jobs can do for you, is challenge you to grow as a person, which is something that I always want to do. All that to say, the new job was really, really trying at first. When you're going into any new position, I recommend taking a plethora of notes. Like, take notes. Don't be caught off guard when somebody shoots something at you that you're supposed to get done, that you don't write it down. And I have a little, you know, you could use your notes app on your iPhone, and I would write things down every time something would get thrown my way or an idea would get thrown my way of things that we can do for the company. And it really helped me get organized. And instead of just calling people blindly and not taking notes while I was calling them and being caught off guard, like, where's a pen? I would always set myself up for success every day, have everything charged, everything ready, have my notepad ready, make my phone calls, reach out to people, and have kind of like a method to the madness, and trying to change things up to see if I wouldn't get better connections with people, better opportunities. So I would recommend with any new job, go in and give yourself grace and realize it is a new position. No one's going to be great right out the gate. If you're qualified and you got the job, there's something that they saw in you that they wanted you for. And so if you're having, you know, a little bit of a challenging time, or like if nobody's giving you feedback, maybe put yourself out there and just ask whoever is your boss or your supervisor, like, hey, I just wanted to run something quickly by you. I know I'm new, but I just wanted to make sure that, you know, just, is there any feedback you have for me, or how are things going for you on my end? Like, am I doing a good job? Once I spoke to my manager and told her some of my stresses, she literally was like, you're overreacting, and not in a mean way. She's so lovely. But it was just an interesting conversation. I realized I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. But throughout working there for a while, I also identified that once I established my routine and established a method to the job, I was like, I don't see myself doing this for a long amount of time. And I then gave myself grace, and I was clear with the manager and told her that I don't know if it's going to be something that I could foresee myself doing for the long haul, because I would follow people on YouTube and different things and watch videos and what it would require for an inside sales position as like a department, and I was the first of its kind, and I realized I was like, I don't think that I would have what it takes. Not being a leader, I think anybody can be a leader, but I don't think I have what it takes to consistently stick with this for the long haul. Like, I don't mind answering phones and doing outbound phone calls, but the consistent pounding away on the phones, I didn't realize was going to be a little more difficult for me. And like the rejection and getting hung up on, it was okay, but whenever sometimes I would have like one connection that was a good one, and it was really discouraging. There was definitely personality tests they had us take, which I know if you've seen my Enneagram video, I love personality tests, and the test is the DISC test, D-I-S-C, and I tested as an S, which is like the peacemaker and stability, which, you know, the job did feel unstable for me. And they said that before I got this job, I already got hired, and I found out that people that do best at this job are people that are high D's and high I's, which are influential and then dominant type personalities that don't mind, you know, staying focused, doing the phone calls, connecting, and not taking it personal. If they don't make the sales that day, they just get motivated to keep going. And I recommend anybody that's in a job, if they love administrative, like mathematical types jobs, stick with it. Science, you know, engineers and things like that. I've known a lot of people in my community that said that that's their job and they love it. But for me, I tend to lean more on the creative side. I don't know if it's because I'm left-handed or what, but I realized that was something I could do. And I like office work. I don't know, something about typing at a desk. I loved office work, but I think it was the consistent phone calls that I needed to be making that was the one thing I didn't necessarily like about the job, which really bummed me out because I didn't want to leave. But I realized I needed to be honest with myself and honest with my manager sooner rather than later, before she put any more investment into me as a hired staff. And so I was open with her, told her my situation and how I felt, and you know, we came to a moment where she was excited because obviously I have a lot of social media capabilities and editing and things like that, and there's another potential office position that's different than the one I would be doing that she would need someone for, and it's working with files and database type stuff, which I did when I worked at the other office job. So it presented itself for a new opportunity. When one door closes, another one opens. It's been a really, really challenging few weeks. It's been like an up and down roller coaster. I've been extremely overwhelmed and very anxious. I could literally identify when I was anxious. I haven't been that anxious in a while. I ended up confiding in one coworker that wanted to talk to me about some stuff, and he was like, you fooled me, I would have never known you were anxious. I was like, gosh, I was so anxious so much of the time. The instability of it all, my DISC profile test, S, you know, stable, peacemaker, it was so stable that it was causing me to be anxious, and I didn't know where I stood within myself, within the company. You know, I was so afraid that one day they'd be like, what are you even doing? You know, but I was working. I just found myself being anxious, overwhelmed, and lonely. So if I do end up staying with this job, which is going to be a marketing type social media job with office work added, I feel like that would suit my personality better, because I wouldn't have to be tucked away on a phone, hidden away from society, making phone calls all the time, but I would be able to like connect with people. It'll be different all the time. I'll have to stay focused. I'll be able to do some organizing, which I love organizing. A part of me realized if I can keep myself accountable to a certain degree, I do like the freedom that this job provided. So it's like, man, we just need perfection, don't we? Like, it needs to be like freedom, but not freedom. There needs to be structure, but no structure. One thing that this job did provide for me was the reality that like, your job is not your worth. Your job is not your value. What you do for work is not what you are as a person. Doesn't dictate your value. And it made me realize that I do enjoy serving, and I need a job that I can serve people in any capacity. That's why I liked the medical office job, because I was helping people. Also, self-disclosure. Try not to open up too soon. Be quiet at first. I felt like I self-disclosed a little bit too much potentially, but people really liked me there. And I also realized when I did overshare, I was just like, oh well, I overshared. I used to beat myself so much over oversharing, but now I'm just like, well, it's out there. What can I do about it? Nothing. I'm sorry that it's taken me a while to put together a video for you guys. It's been really stressful, but I feel like I'm like finished with the calm of like the anxiety that has come from this job. And I finally had a moment to hop in my car and film a video before I let any more time pass, because you guys are awesome. And thank you for always sticking with me and supporting me. And definitely check me out on my social media accounts if you're interested, on Instagram, TikTok, and if you're wanting to join the community on Patreon, There's different tiers. You can join me there. Check the link out in the bio or in the description. And thank you for everybody that has joined as Patreons. I'm so excited to watch that platform grow, to help support my channel and hopefully make that eventually my full-time job. But that's probably a long time coming. With that said, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you see. Please give this video one big thumbs up. It definitely helps a girl out. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And you all must know by now that you are definitely all in my prayers, and I really hope you have a good rest of your week. And I will see you next time. Bye.